everybody. Hope you're all well. I'm going to go to Saad first, as an Arsenal fan who got the W today. Talk to me, mate.
You're on mute.
Yeah, listen, it was a good defensive performance. Big up to Gabriel, big up to Saliba. Yeah, big up to Gabriel and Saliba. It was a good defensive performance. Big up to Raya as well for making saves. The rest of the players, Tomiyasu out of position, Ben White getting absolutely done by Garnacho, who in my personal opinion is a very poor player. And yes, he can get past the player every now and then, but we're lucky that his final finish is absolutely dog shit. The midfield today got outrun. I feel like they looked like they never played before together, and yeah, they they got outrun by a midfield which I didn't think would do much against them. I really think the attack as well was not good. They were very slow, very lethargic, and I feel like today, I'll be honest, I disagree. I think we made Man United look very good. We made you guys look good because we weren't pressing enough. There wasn't that same speed. There wasn't that same, there wasn't that same want to try and go get the ball and attack with conviction. There wasn't that against Manchester United. And listen, for me, it's a poor United team. It's a poor United team, and I feel like you should be going for more. You should be trying to get more, because I don't. Even if we went and took risks, I still don't think that they would have scored against us. I think our defense is that good that they wouldn't have scored against us. But listen, overall, we got the points. So points on the board is all that matters at this point in the season. But yeah, I'm not really happy with the midfield, not really happy with the attack, but we move, man. It's the end of the season, so I'm not gonna fully cry and be like, oh my God, look at this, look at that. But I really wanted, like, listen, you know what I was saying in the group chat, man. I expected you guys to come out there. I expected them to smack you guys, and they didn't do that. They took the one goal and they said we're okay with that. We're okay with the one goal, which I think for in just in the game that we're in right now, and the situation that we might possibly have if they draw to Spurs on Tuesday, inshallah, ya Rab, inshallah that happens. If that happens, the situation that we're in, we need wallah, ya ameen. The only thing that I'm saying is, if that happens, bro, we needed to push that goal difference. We needed to give ourselves a good margin of error, like in case we go into that game and we only score one goal against Everton. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I really wanted us to push that goal difference up so we keep them as far away from us as possible.
I hear you. Mo, do you agree with what Saad said there, that this United team was poor, they didn't really play well, and it was about Arsenal playing in first gear? Or do you think United actually stopped Arsenal from producing more goals and dominating the game more?
No, Arteta was scared, 100%. He didn't want to go for it. It was very obvious. He didn't put pressure. And it's by design, and I like it. If I'm an Arsenal fan, I should be happy. I shouldn't be negative. I should just say, I got the 3 points at Old Trafford, one win in 16 games. People think it's an easy game. Yeah, Man United look poor. It doesn't matter. This is, if you opened up and you consider a goal or something, you would have been here crying. A lot of Arsenal fans would have been, oh, why didn't we play conservative a little bit? Why didn't we just play defensively? They would have been here crying. But basically, Saliba had a great game. Gabriel had a good game. Right? Ben White got cooked, which is fine, which is all right. Got cooked. But Garnacho is not good. But I thought it was by design, Terry, to be honest with you. I thought Arteta really, I saw him actually pointing for his players to be back, because he knows that this Man United team are toothless up top. You're toothless up top. It's your players don't take chances, and he banked on that. So I think Arsenal fans should be happy. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. You're still in the beginning. Don't be greedy and think that I can be Manchester City and go win at Old Trafford 3-4-0. That's not going to happen. He managed the game well, and hats off to Arteta. Ten Hag had a good game, but hats off to Arteta for managing the game. Another clean sheet for Arsenal, and Arsenal fans are complaining. Come on, stop it. Stop it. You're not that guy yet. You're not.
So why? No, Mo, I don't like that. I don't like that, though, because you're making it sound like I'm sitting here and I'm just being like a spoiled child who just got a Lamborghini by wanting a Bentley. That's solid gold. That's not what I'm saying, Mo. All I'm saying is the game that we're in right now, if Tottenham draw with Manchester City, it is goal difference. And City, who do they have? West Ham. They're more than capable of going and smacking Manchester West Ham 5-6-0. If we go and we have a game where we win 2-0 or 1-0 against
yeah, but at the same time,
even then,
sorry guys, I'm gonna add one point. I'm gonna add one point. If you ask,
you play Everton.
Okay, I'm gonna add one point and then stay silent for the Arsenal fan. Guys, wait. If you ask any Arsenal fan, are you gonna make up the goal difference in a Man United away game? They're gonna tell you no. And it doesn't matter how bad Man United are. If you opened up and you got scored against today, you would have been here crying. Your manager did the right. You scraped the win. That's the title. You scraped the win. Hats off to Arteta for scraping a win in the final yards of the season at Old Trafford, something that you don't do often. So come on, just be happy, bro.
Can I just add something as well, Terry? Because the whole goal difference thing doesn't really even make sense, because the reality is that if Man City drop points, the goal difference will remain at +3 going into the final game of the season, whether it's a draw or a loss. Actually, if it's a loss, the goal difference will increase, right? Because they will. So therefore, it's going to be plus. If they drop points going into the final game, we're going to be 3 goals up. So even if we win 4-0, even if we win 1-0, City would have to then win 4-0 to match.
They're capable of doing that though.
Yeah, but even then it would go to head, so they'd have to win 5-0. So there you go. Like, it's not that big of a deal, right? At this point in the stage, I think we're looking at things that are not even, that are not likely to even kind of come into play at this stage of the season. It's a big if, right? And it's a big if, Tottenham take points away from them. But the reality is goal difference is not going to play a part in that type of way, because they ain't going to make it up if they drop points. I don't think they do drop points, but
I hear you on that. KJ, from a United perspective, do you feel as though, do you agree with what Saad and Mo have said? This was sort of Arteta, I'll use Mo's words, he was a bit scared, he didn't want to open up, and they sort of let Man United's midfield dominate, and they let Man United win the ball back and move it to the edge of Arsenal's box? Or do you think do you think some credit needs to be given to Man United for their performance?
If I'm very honest, very minimal credit goes to Man United for their performance. Yes, you did the basics right and had midfielders where they should be and fullbacks where they should be for most of the game, and people tracking. But at the end of the day, I think Arteta chose those tactics. He told his team to play a bit more reserved. He told his team to make sure that you just get the job done, and didn't open up. So we weren't great today, and they could have easily played better, I think, in my opinion. I think they're playing in second gear. They easily could have played us off the park if they wanted to, but Arteta didn't really want to do that. If you can say it's cowardice, you can say it's game management, season management, you can say it's just being professional, whatever you call it. But whatever it is that I think this was Arsenal. It's more Arsenal deciding to hold fire than it was for Man United to have this really brilliant performance. Because today's performance, and the reason why I'm frustrated, is that we're in a position where we're getting praised for the basics, like with some child, like with some kid with one leg learning how to flip and run for the first time. Like the basics shouldn't be praised. It should be, yes, we should highlight it in terms of Ten Hag's finally made a good decision in how we've set it up, and I'm like, fair enough, but it's basic stuff. It's not difficult to do.
Yeah, no, listen, I get where you're coming from, and I wouldn't necessarily call it praise. I think we have a lot of what we do as a job is we try our best to have honest, fair, open conversations. And when I've criticized Ten Hag this year, people have said, but Terry, the injuries, but he needs time. And what I've said is that the basics aren't there. The basic level of performance isn't there. And I'm using today as an example where I think there was one to a certain degree. I'm not saying it was, oh my God, we were phenomenal, we deserve so much praise. The frustrating bit for me is, why haven't we fixed that hole in the midfield 6 goddamn months ago? We'd be in a very different situation. Yes, we were pretty toothless up front today, but what am I really expecting from a bunch of kids with no creativity up there? Again, that's where I can look at injuries and go, you know what? I totally would back the manager in those circumstances if the basics were being done on a far more regular basis. So that element is where I don't know if you'd call it praise or it's pointing out the differences between my normal critique and what I saw today, as hopefully people can see, or at least at the very least understand why I've been frustrated at Ten Hag this year. And I haven't just said it's because of injuries. It's the holes we've left in midfield. And by the way, if Man United, where I disagree with all of you, is if Man United's midfield didn't have the wide players tucking in and filling the holes, Arsenal would have scored 2 or 3 more goals because everyone just one pass gets through us. We stopped that today because we filled that hole in. So for me, it isn't just because Arsenal took their foot off the gas. We have the volume of chances teams get against us are abnormal. And they're abnormal because we have no midfield. So you just put a couple of players in there and it stops it. It just that's what I'm like happy we didn't do it today, but frustrated it's taken so goddamn long. Giuseppe, what you say? I don't know who you support, bro. What are you here to say?
I'm Arsenal. Thanks for having me, by the way. Listen, I actually agree a bit more with you, Terry. I don't know why people don't want to give Man United any credit. I think Amrabat had a good game. Dalot had a good game. I think they had individuals that had really good games. I thought Maino had a good game. And I think there was a bit of nerves from Arsenal and Arteta. Yeah, we wanted to stay compact. But when we don't play good, this is the thing that I've watched a lot of Arsenal this season. Because our defense is so good, when we don't play that good or a team don't let us have that much, we have in us to stay compact. So it might have been a game plan, but it might have just been that we went out there. Man United actually stopped us doing what we really wanted to do. So we just went back into our shell almost like a tortoise and just waited there and said, listen, come at us. You ain't getting past us. You're not hurting us. So I think because when I was watching us going forward, we wasn't able to, everything was getting cut out. They were on us as soon as we were getting the ball. So there was an element of us not going for it as much, and an element of Man United also playing quite decent. And I said to a lot of Arsenal fans that I weren't happy that Man United lost 4-0 to Crystal Palace. I thought that was the worst thing that could have happened to us leading into this game, because when a team gets battered like that, they normally come out and put a performance. We never do great at Old Trafford. The last time we won there a few years ago was a 1-0 as well, I'm pretty sure. And before that, I can't even the time that we ain't won. But the game today, I thought Gabriel Saliba outstanding. I thought that's the reason we are where we are this season. Let's be honest. The reason we're competing with City till the last day is because of them defenders. And I think, yeah, we can't complain. Arteta's showed maturity. The team showed maturity. Havertz again. I'm not going to lie. It has to be said that another game where I know he didn't score the goal, but he done all the work. So for me, that's another game where he's come in clutch and used a bit of intelligence to move over and see that Casemiro's there so he can stay a bit further back, because he looks over his shoulder and sees Casemiro. So I think there's another game where people have to give Havertz credit, because it's another clutch moment in a game where we win 1-0. And these are the games that you need that sort of clutch moment, because apart from that, we didn't really look like we were going to score. I'm not going to lie. Apart from that, I can't think of another moment that really looked like we were going to score, apart from maybe the Martinelli shot that the keeper saved. So, yeah, for me, we can't complain. I know Sard wanted more goals. This ain't the game to get the goals. We need to look at this and say we get the win. No matter what, 1-0 is cool. It's the Everton game we have to go into and say we need to smoke these, man. At Arsenal, last game of the season, that's the game that we have to look with 3-goal difference ahead of City, which means if they draw, it's 3. And listen, even if they win 6-0, yeah, we can beat them 3-0, 4-0 if we go out and we look to do that on the final game of the season. So I think that's the game more we had to look at adding goal difference rather than this. This was about getting the points. Away at Old Trafford, it's just about getting the points. Yeah.
I hear you on that. But by the way, when you started talking, I do remember you being on the show before. It's just, I don't actually remember faces. I remember voices. I'm a bit strange like that. Voices, I get a lot more. Viewers, make sure you're hitting the like buttons. We've got a lot of people to speak to on here. This is an interesting super chat. It says Man United was supposed to have a say in the title race. We did. We stopped Liverpool winning it. So we did have a say in the title race. Oh, we did. We did. For as bad as we are, we popped. We ruined Klopp's leaving party, bruv. We rocked up and we ended your leaving party.
Stop doing this. We drew to Palace. We lost to Palace after.
You also lost to us in the FA Cup and haven't only won 1 trophy. So
look at them now. Now they want to do all this. Oh, congratulations! You beat Liverpool.